Kia ora, boys and girls. Welcome back to the 4-star challenge for the month of Uncollected. We've done chapter two. We've done chapter one, basically not map one, but that was pretty easy, so I didn't worry about it. We've done half of chapter two, and now we're in the second part of chapter two. Chapter two, map two, and I think the boss here is Ultron, which is we're gonna get to, but he's kind of like. He's a variation on some of the variant Ultron bosses. He's got one of the same nodes, that whole evade, fatigue, blah blah blah. Anyway, so we've come in with the Trinity and Corvus because that actually sits really really well. I am going to say that when you're running 4-star teams in Uncollected, you probably do need to start thinking about synergies. Because they're not quite as strong as your 5-stars. So with your 5-stars, sometimes you don't need a synergy. Even then, I tend to sometimes bring a few synergies, definitely for Corvus, for the True Strike. But you start thinking about like, okay, maybe I'm going to bring someone who I'm not even going to use to fight with, but that's going to give my main guy a bit of a boost. But here, I've kind of built my whole team around synergies. So that basically if I fight with Starkey, I've got the extra poise charges. If I fight with Blade, I've got the extra danger sense. If I fight with Corvus, I've got the extra true strike. So yeah, and that's going to go down really really well in this map. Clearing the lane, it's not going to be too bad. Nick Fury, he's actually a little bit tricky because he decoys and he has the second one. Hopefully I'm going to have an absolute great fight against him, but we don't know yet. I'm kind of used to him now. So I'm going to bring in Starkey because Starkey's got that good evade, and also he can do a lot of damage. So I'm just going to build some poise charges. He gives me an opening here. I'm going to get in there, and I don't particularly want to play with his SP1, but I guess I have a chance to auto evade that anyway because it's a projectile and Sparky's got the auto evade so long as my AI is on. So I'm just going to try to stun him here and try to push him to his SP2. There we go, and now his decoy is gone. I'll let him degen around to 30%. He can throw that. I'll evade that. Probably should have gone in, but I don't particularly want to build his power to his FP1, so now I'm going to wait. He's going to drop below 30 in a sec, and if he can give me a heavy, I can get in there and open him up. He's a lot easier than the boss man now that I know how he works. And he's a lot easier with Sparky. I haven't actually used Sparky against him before. Alright, so come on, throw that heavy. Come on, buddy. Just throw the heavy. These guys don't have all day. Okay, that's fine. I'll just intercept you. So that's good, actually. That's a really good result. Nick Fury can be a little bit tricky, can be a little bit hit and miss. His SP1 is pretty hard to evade, but his SP2 and heavies are pretty straightforward. So we're going to go to Spidey, and Spidey is going to give us a true strike charge, which we might need further down the line, actually, against Ultron. Spoiler alert, in case you already don't know, Ultron is the main boss of this map. So we get the true strike there, which makes Spidey really really easy. I probably could have finished him with Blade as well, but I want the true strike because it might come in handy a little bit later. So we'll get in there, and Corvus still working the treat even at this level, even at the end of chapter 2. I think it's when you get to chapter 3 that you have to be a little bit more patient, especially with the 4-star version of him. But yeah, that's for the next video. So Drax, I'm going to take in Ghost Rider just because he's got a class advantage. And I mean, yeah, there are some pretty tricky lines in these maps. I remember last month, I think the Thorns line in particular was quite difficult. Um, Actually, probably the last couple of months. I remember we having a couple of thorns lines, and yeah, they're generally not really that fun, especially if you don't have the right champs and you don't know how to play around them. Um, but because everyone will tell you, okay, it's crossbones, use Black Widow, even Gwenpool if you can get the ability accuracy reduction. But uh, still, man, like they're still a little bit tricky because you need 100% accuracy reduction. Archangel also works a treat against them once you start getting the three neurotoxins. But it's kind of a different mindset playing against Thorns, I think, because it's like normally when I go into a fight like this, like I want to be 100%. I want to go in with 100% life and come out with 100% life. But with Thorns, you kind of go in and you know you're going to lose a little bit of life every fight, and that's fine. But you want to make sure that you don't lose as much life until you get them to 100% ability accuracy reduction. So it's like you go in knowing, okay, you're going to trade off 10% or 15% of your life to get this guy to a state where he's not going to damage you, and then you can go to town on him. Um, and so it's a little bit weird because when people tell me like crossbones, I'm like, well, he still takes damage. He does take damage, but if you overrun, you get your 3 Furies, and then you start going into the combo, he's gonna take damage until he gets to 5 Furies. Once he's at 5 Furies, he's got a 100% ability accuracy reduction, and all of a sudden you stop taking Thorns damage, and so you can just get in there and smash the opponent and not even take any damage. But someone like Black Widow with her signature ability, which actually reduces the opponent's chance to trigger. Starts off with like around 50% and works its way up. You can kind of get that from the get-go, right? Now, oh man, I don't like fighting Domino, but hopefully I don't die here. Hopefully I can evade this one. Oh man, that's painful. I'm so glad I've got those charges because otherwise I would have been done in this fight. Yeah, I've been finding Domino a little bit weird lately, a little bit more difficult, especially the SP1. Like some days I wake up and I get it perfect, and some days I can't evade her SP1 to save my life, and I don't know what the difference is. Maybe it's just mindset. So this is the Ultron boss. He's got that fatigue thing. He obviously has auto evade. He's actually not terrible because kind of like at the end of the day, he's just really a Ultron. You evade the SP1, you just build up that damage, and yeah, and life is all good. Um, Also got that power flood. Obviously, the evade can be a little bit annoying because it comes a lot more often than not, and when it does, it gives you that fatigue. And it kind of messes a little bit with your rhythm because he evades, and then all of a sudden you're a little bit out of sync, and he can get in there and open up an attack on you. And at this point, with how much PR he is and how much damage he's got and the fatigue buff, it takes like a few combos, like a few hits, a couple of hits in the combo, and you're kind of gone. So as you can see, like 3 hits, I'm down to almost no life. Luckily, I've got a little bit of danger sense, and Blade is might be kind of good for this fight because of his regen, and because I mean the guy's gonna evade, right? You know that much, and you know it's gonna be a long fight, and just having that infinite regen of Blade is really gonna help here. The danger sense helps as well because it stops his abilities triggering a little bit more, and also the fact that you can just kind of keep lasting through this fight because it's going to be a bit of a long fight. So in the 5-star version of this fight, when I was fighting him, I bring in Corvus Glaive. Corvus Glaive has 3 charges. He's 5-star rank 4. he can take this guy out before his first glaive charges are gone, right? This becomes a absolute non-fight. He becomes like an arena level Ultron. You can't do that to the same effect with 4-star Corvus, because I don't think you can do enough damage to him. Because he's a boss. He's got over 120,000 life, 150 probably. You can't do that in one run. You will lose your charges and you gotta wait 40 seconds. It's gonna be a bit of a long fight either way, whether you bring Corvus or not, because you're gonna need to wait for your glaive charges. But also, I've messed up my Corvus now, and he's only on 1% life, so I'm not going to be able to last 40 seconds without taking a single hit or a single parry. So instead, I've opted to come in with Blade. Now, Blade's working great. The trick around this fight is to just be patient. Just be patient. He is going to evade sometimes. And you're probably going to take a little bit of damage. You're obviously going to take a lot of chip damage as well. So someone who's a fantastic evader, Starkey would be great for this fight as well. And you know, I probably could have come in here. Ooh, I'm talking too much. Hang on, let me concentrate. Just need to heal up a little bit. Okay, all right. Starkey would have been great for this fight as well, because I mean he can auto evade all day, build up those points charges all day. You'd be at like 10 points charges throughout the fight. And if you play really well, no parry, just kind of evade and dex away and kind of get him to his SP1 and rinse and repeat. I mean you could damage this guy massively without ever having to regen. For me, I brought in Blade first to give him a try, and he's worked a treat because I've got the danger sense, which does a lot more damage on him. I've got the infinite regen, and this works really well. Corvus is another good counter. Medusa would be another great counter. I could have probably brought Medusa with her synergy team, disabled all his, shattered his armor, destroyed his power gain, destroyed his ability accuracy, and ripped him a new one. Same with Nebula. Nebula, you bring her in with the Proxima synergy. She's got 10 electrostatic charges. All of a sudden, he doesn't fatigue you anymore. He doesn't evade anymore. He doesn't have that power gain anymore. And it just becomes an absolutely straightforward fight. So there's multiple counters to Ultron. I think, actually, out of the bosses we faced so far in the 4-star version, I think the hardest is Cull Obsidian, followed by, if you don't have the right matchup, Corvus Glaive. If you have the right matchup, Corvus Glaive is easy, and if you have the right matchup, this Ultron is also very easy. Hopefully this helps you out if you're running this, if you're running a 4-star team. If it did, like, subscribe, leave a comment, share it with your team, share it with your alliance. Hopefully all that stuff helps, and it does help support the channel. Ka kite ano, bros and girls. We'll see you in the next one.